Hello, welcome to this Office Furniture Installation Alliance, or OFIA video. Today we're going to be walking through the steps to create your account as a provider, and then also how to receive quote requests, how to respond appropriately, and then all the way through to the review process. The OFIA portal, which is found at www.ofia.org, is fairly new, and it certainly has lots of updates that are constantly ongoing. So this particular video is on OFIA version 1.3, so there might be minor tweaks and changes in the next few weeks as the program continues to grow and enhance. When you come to the OFIA homepage, you'll have an option here to register right in the middle, but you could also go to the login screen, and there's a second button down here in the lower right hand corner. To register, you're going to choose a service provider. The registration process starts by you putting in your email address. I'm going to put in just a temporary fake one for the purposes of this demo. And you click on the Validate Email button. This will just make sure that that email address hasn't already been registered onto the system. And then you enter in some biographical information, including your name, phone numbers if you want to, and then create a temporary password, which must include both a letter, number, and special character, and be at least 6 characters long. A randomly generated example is included here. You can use that one, or you could just do a brand new one that meets that criteria. I'm going to create my own password and click on the Submit button. When you do so, a verification email address is sent to the email that you entered in. It will contain a link that you can click on, or you can cut and paste into your browser, that will validate your email address is appropriate and valid. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that email address in my email client, and you'll see the browser here refresh. And you're now taken to this company association page. If you've ever done business with InstallNet before in the past, since InstallNet is the administrator of OFIA, then we've probably already have your company information already preloaded into the system. If that's the case, then we've tried to match up your company based on your email address, and here's a sample one. You could also search through our list of companies to try to find a match to see if we've already preloaded your data. But if not, you can certainly add your own new company record by clicking on the Add New Company button. You'll have to put in some sample information, including your name and primary address, and click on the Add Company button to have your company added to the OFIA system. If it's a brand new provider that has no exposure to InstallNet, then InstallNet will contact you and go through the validation, certification, and accreditation process. If you do select an existing company, then your account will need to be approved first. If you're the very first one for this company, an OFIA administrator will approve you as the new administrator of that company. Likewise, if there's already members from that company logged in and associated with the OFIA portal, then they'll have a chance to approve your account before you can continue. I'm going to go ahead and select this existing company, and then my account will be activated. After my account has been approved and validated, I'll be taken to the new home page or dashboard. This is a quick glance of what's going on with your provider company within the system. The first link that I suggest you go to is the profile link. This will give you a chance to customize how your profile is seen by other customers on the OFIA portal. Of course, we have your basic information about your name. Any positive reviews from the last 2 years from InstallNet have automatically been brought over. And then we have some sample descriptions, some badging, and other information. To change any of this, simply click on the View Edit Profile button. Here on this Edit Company Profile page, you'll have the opportunity to change your logo, give a URL directly to your website, and include a more expanded description that helps outline the specifics about the services and the functionality that your company provides. You can customize your primary office location, add any number of addresses if you have multiple locations or warehouses. You can specify key personnel that are shown on your public profile page. You can also then select from a series of badges that help give some characterization around your specific organization. These are highlighted when the customer searches through the provider list, especially if they're looking for specific attributes that they want in a provider. You can outline your service offerings. By default, installation is selected for everybody, but you can also select it from an expanded service list if you provide more services. By default, all manufacturers are selected, but if you only focus in on specific manufacturers, feel free to select those on this right-hand side. Finally, if you have any social media presence, you can add those in this section at the very bottom. When you're done tweaking and changing and updating your profile, simply click on the Submit button to finalize it. If we go back out to your profile, you'll see a second link to View Edit Accounts. This is where administrators of your company can go to add new users, delete old users, or change the permissions or information of existing user accounts that have already logged into the OFIA portal. The next step is you'll go to the Quotes screen. The Quote screen is where you will receive quotes from customers that have submitted quote requests onto the system. Each time a customer searches or views your profile, that information is logged and tracked. But whenever they choose to submit a new quote to your provider, you'll get an email address with the details directing you to this page. You'll see we also already have a couple sample quotes right here. Now I'm going to go simulate a new quote request from a customer, and we'll see it on this page. I'm going to refresh my page here because I now have a quote request. This one, OFI 160022, and the name that the customer put in, Demo Quote Request, is clearly marked that my response is required. I can click on the View Info button to view additional information about this quote request. In this case, I've only put in the bare minimum of information, but this is where the job specifics would be outlined. You can attach your own quotes or put in your own comments to this quote request. If you do so, only the customer will see them, and of course they'll get notifications for when you do so. They can also put comments or quote documents back just to you as well, and if that's the case, of course you'll get notifications for that as well. You can click on the Manage Bid button at the bottom, and now you'll get a chance to put in your actual bid response. Typically, a provider will add in a document that more formalizes and breaks out all the charges that are associated with this quote request. For the purposes of the OFIA.org realm, you only need to put in the final cost. You can put additional bid comments here, such as View Attached Document, or other terms and conditions that apply to this particular quote request. At the end, we want to know your final cost here. If this is a brand new customer that you've never had an interaction with before, the OFIA portal is going to add a 5% OFIA transaction fee. That will be added to the total amount and displayed at the bottom. When the customer views your quote request, they'll see both the cost you put in and any applicable OFIA transaction amount. In this case, I've already set up that I don't have an existing relationship with this customer. But if this is the first time you've ever interacted with this customer, you'll have the option of a checkbox to indicate that this is an existing customer. That way, if one of your current customers contacts you through the OFIA portal, you can select that checkbox and all OFIA transaction fees will be removed. In that case, the OFIA transaction fee changes to 0 and there is no amount, and the total will equal your cost. You can choose to decline this bid, or you can provide the bid based on the information. Again, more detailed breakdown of your quote can always be attached via a document. But from the purposes of OFIA.org, we care about that total amount. The terms and conditions of the usage of the OFIA portal can simply be stated by what starts on OFIA stays on OFIA. For example, if a new customer that you've never had a relationship with before initially contacts you through the OFIA portal, then all subsequent jobs need to continue to be on the OFIA portal. It is against the terms and conditions and the policy of OFIA to then work with that customer offline without registering the jobs online. I'm going to go ahead and do the Provide Bid button. I get a confirmation dialog, which I'll say yes to. And now it clearly indicates that I've responded with a bid. Of course, the customer now gets notifications that that has been complete, and they will have a chance to respond. When the customer responds to the quote request in your bid, they are required to attach a purchase order directly onto this quote request before they can continue. Now I've gone in as the customer and approved this, so now this project becomes active. I get a new button at the top called Manage Job. This here is the active job information screen. For most intents and purposes, your interaction with the customer can happen offline from OFIA. You can facilitate this job however you normally do. You can do it via phone, via emails. There's certainly capability inside the OFIA portal to add documents and notes and communications through this way. But typically, this job will be completed outside of the OFIA portal. You'll continue it all the way through to the closeout phase and include billing your customer directly. The billing should include that OFIA transaction fee if there is any. Here on this job phase, only the bare minimal information is included at the start. When the provider was selected, the project start date, and the completion date. The customer may choose to add additional job timelines into here, and if that's the case, you'll see additional dates listed here. And of course, any new documents or notes and comments will all be stored here with notifications anytime a new one is entered. To close out the job, simply put in a completion date. Now both you or the customer can enter in a completion date to start this closeout process. After that's put in here, or for any updates, click on the Update Information button. And now, since there's a completed date, we see this Close Job button. Again, both either the customer or you as the provider can close out a job. And when that's the case, the next stage goes into a review process. You'll have the opportunity to change the final cost, in this case $500 plus the OFIA transaction fee, to represent whatever that final collected amount really was, whether that was mitigated up or down. Finally, we ask for you to provide a review. When you provide a review to the customer does not see that information, but it is available to other providers on the system. So this way you can communicate other important and relevant notes about a specific customers to the rest of the OFIA community. In this case, I'll go ahead and add in excellent. The first comment section is what is available to the rest of the providers only on OFIA. The second one is useful for notes if you want to send back to OFIA administrators specifically. It will only be viewed by the OFIA administrators. When you're done with your review, click on the Submit Review / Closeout button. And this job is now completed. You can archive it at your convenience or go back and view the review later if you choose to do so. The customer can also go in and review your performance as the provider, but in this case you will see what the customer has put in as their review. They receive the exact same fields you do, and again, the public comments are available to anyone on the portal, and the private comments, if they enter any in, are available only to the OFIA administrators. Across the top, you have two additional options. You have an admin button. This will help you manage your users that currently have access to the OFIA portal, and you can see which of your users are currently logged in now. And then finally, the account button is your specific information in your specific account on the OFIA portal. This is also where you will put in your credit card information when it comes time for quarterly invoicing of that OFIA transaction fee. Well, this is the OFIA portal from a very high level. This is how you log in for the first time, update your profile, receive and handle quote requests from a customer. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact the OFIA support team at any time. You can contact us at support@ofia.org or phone number 844-851-3234. We hope you enjoy the OFIA portal, and we certainly would love to hear your feedback and comments at any time. Thanks for watching this video.